Perfectum, from the Latin verb perficio, perficere, perfeci, perfectum, meaning finished. 4 houses up from the house that my grandparents built in the 30s is the house where I now live. I always knew that I would live in this house. I'd known it as I rode my bike by it, knew it as I drove my car by as it sat empty, abused by fire, neglect, and weather for over 17 years. I still marveled at the beautiful ionic columns with the peeling paint and the dozens of double daffodils blooming among the dead weeds in the front. The night that I signed the mortgage papers and it was finally mine, I turned the key in the lock and patted the front door and promised that I would take care of it. If a house can sigh a sigh of relief, it did. Through blood, sweat, and tears, mainly blood, I rebuilt the chimney, tore out a floor and a wall. I put in central air and heat after MLGW told me if I was freezing to death, not to turn on the existing floor furnace. I've never seen anyone look so serious. I covered many of the walls stained by smoke with new soothing pastels, mostly celadon green, to keep the focus off of the shag green carpet that had been put in after a fire during the house's unoccupied years. Next came the bathroom. After the sink and commode and tub were replaced, all the newness made the walls look too dingy to bear. I decided to wallpaper rather than paint. I found the beyond perfect border that fit my Latin teacher persona. After the rediscovery of Pompeii in 1756, everyone who was anyone wanted something Pompeian in their home. While some were content with simply painting their dining rooms Pompeian red or having a tripod table by the door, the French Empress Josephine opted for a detailed mural of a bigger-than-life dancing girls in stolas, the feminine equivalent of togas, on all 4 walls of her dining room at Malmaison, with the background of the room being Pompeian red. There was actually a border based on these murals. The figures were in tints of gray and one of the backgrounds a most complimentary green. After one Latin student demanded who got excited about this stuff besides Latin teachers, I decided to find out. I did research on the rediscovery of Pompeii and Herculaneum for the Rockefeller Foundation. I'd actually seen these murals at Malmaison, Josephine's country retreat outside of Paris. I had to have this wallpaper. It would be another way to convince students to take Latin. This wallpaper was concrete proof that Latin was still all around us. As many times as my renovation budget had been busted, this time I did so deliberately. I had to have this wallpaper. It would advance my career. Putting it on the walls finished the bathroom, and it was perfect. Like the figures on the Greek urn in Keats' poem, these Pompeian dancing girls had line danced on my bathroom ceiling border for over 20 years, well past the time when I noticed them at all. I was almost surprised when someone else did. They danced spring, summer, winter, fall. They danced through bouts of the stomach through copious tears shed for loved ones gone, both pets and people. They danced during celebrations, both personal and professional. They were there when I left on trips and when I came back home. Right in the corner, one of the girls began to come loose from the wall. I pushed her back into place with a mop handle. Soon, 2 of her sisters joined her in breaking free. It's just one little piece of wallpaper, I thought to myself. Surely this was easy enough to fix. I had already done all the major hard renovations. One little dab of wallpaper paste, and I could sit down and write or knit or watch old Western reruns in peace. I bought the paste, watched the YouTube video on how to repair wallpaper, and realized quickly that this was not going to be a witty, weaky moment. This was more of a hero's quest. No hero's quest is ever easy. All heroes have to have allies to achieve their goals. One little piece of wallpaper would not defeat me, but I could not do this alone. I have a friend who is fearless in many ways, particularly when it comes to home renovation projects. Harriet has a sure-we-can-do-it attitude that would have built Rome in a day. According to Harriet, this one little piece of wallpaper would take less than an hour. She came over the next Saturday and wedged a ladder over the commode and got eye level with that one little piece of wallpaper and lifted it up with all the skill of a forensic scientist. She then said, "Uh-oh," just like the chimney guy had right before he told me that my chimney was about to come tumbling down about 25 years ago. I still remember the ominous sound of that "uh-oh." "Well, it's not the paste," Harriet said. "The plaster's crumbling behind the wallpaper. There's some mold. Probably all the wallpaper needs to come down." She then asked me what was above the bathroom. We walked up the stairs with the old dirty carpet that was going to be my next project after I fixed that one little strip of wallpaper, had written my novel, knitted 2 hats, and watched all the episodes of The Big Valley. The upstairs bedroom could probably win a prize for the smallest bathroom in North America. I would say that it wasn't big enough to cuss in. I would be lying. Having the best grandfather in the world who cussed like a sailor, I did him proud, and I cussed in the smallest bathroom in North America when we discovered that the pipe upstairs was leaking into the wall, crumbling the plaster, causing the one little piece of wallpaper to come loose. The plumber came, fixed the leak, and Harriet took down the wallpaper. I officially hired Harriet to paint the bathroom gray, official name Silent White, and put the border back up. I liked the silent white on the walls so much that I stored the dancing girls carefully in the linen closet for the time being. Now I'd be able to relax and put house stuff on the back burner and maybe even watch Hoss and the Leprechauns episode from Bonanza and really get serious about writing my novel. Harriet grinned and said that she had an idea. She had done everything that could be done to her house, and she loved renovation projects. If I was willing, she'd like to freshen up the paint in the rest of the house. The people in the paint department at Home Depot were her BFFs, and how about Cool Cucumber, same green with less gray than Celadon, for the living room, dining room, and den. What was going to take 1 hour on a Saturday afternoon to fix one little strip of wallpaper morphed into a several-month painting project. The downstairs looked amazing. Let's go look at the upstairs and decide on a paint color," said Harriet. We should never have gone back upstairs. Thank you.